Welcome to another fascinating exploration of faith and relationships. Today, we're diving deep into something that many believers often wonder about: the mysterious ways God reveals our future spouse. While we often expect grand, dramatic signs, God frequently works through subtle, sometimes peculiar methods that we might easily overlook. Let's start with one of the most unexpected ways God communicates: through recurring dreams. These aren't your typical romantic dreams, but rather specific, detailed scenarios that keep repeating. Many believers have reported experiencing dreams where they repeatedly encounter the same person, sometimes before even meeting them in real life. What makes these dreams distinct is their clarity and the lasting impression they leave, unlike regular dreams that fade quickly upon waking. The second unusual sign often comes through random encounters that defy coincidence. Think about meeting someone 3 or 4 times in completely unrelated places within a short period. Maybe you see them at church, then at a grocery store across town, and later at a friend's gathering where neither of you expected to be. These divine appointments often feel too perfectly orchestrated to be mere chance. Third, and this might sound strange, God sometimes uses your spiritual mentors or church leaders in unexpected ways. They might randomly mention someone's name in conversation or feel led to introduce you to someone specific without knowing your private prayers about marriage. These spiritual leaders often serve as unwitting matchmakers in God's grand plan. The fourth sign is particularly interesting: shared spiritual warfare. Sometimes God allows both individuals to go through similar spiritual challenges simultaneously, creating a unique bond through shared experiences. This might manifest as both people independently feeling led to pray about the same issues or facing similar spiritual battles during the same period. Fifth, we have what I call the supernatural peace phenomenon. This isn't just about feeling comfortable around someone. It's an inexplicable, deep-seated peace that surpasses normal human understanding. It's the kind of peace that remains even when circumstances suggest you should be anxious or uncertain about the relationship. The sixth sign is quite peculiar: divine interruptions to your normal routine. These might come as sudden schedule changes, unexpected detours, or even technical malfunctions that lead to meaningful encounters. Think about your car breaking down exactly where someone can help you, or a canceled flight that leads to a divine appointment. Seventh, God often uses what I call prophetic confirmations through strangers. These are random encounters with people who have no knowledge of your situation, but deliver specific messages that align perfectly with what you've been praying about. These could be casual conversations that suddenly turn profound, or random comments that address your exact concerns about marriage. The eighth sign is particularly fascinating: synchronized spiritual growth. This occurs when both individuals, often without knowing each other well, experience similar spiritual revelations or go through parallel seasons of spiritual development. It's as if God is preparing both parties simultaneously for their future together. Ninth, we have what many might consider mundane: repeated exposure to specific names or numbers. While this might sound superstitious, many believers report seeing their future spouse's name repeatedly in unusual contexts or encountering specific numbers that later prove significant in their relationship journey. The 10th sign is what I call the divine redirect. This happens when God seems to close every other door in your romantic life, sometimes in ways that seem harsh or disappointing at the time. Looking back, many couples realize these closures were actually protecting them and directing them toward each other. The 11th and final sign is perhaps the most subtle and unexplainable inner knowing or conviction. This isn't based on physical attraction or common interests, but rather a deep spiritual certainty that defies logical explanation. It's often accompanied by a sense of destiny or purpose that extends beyond just the relationship itself. It's crucial to understand that these signs rarely appear in isolation. Usually, God uses a combination of these methods to confirm His will. Also, timing is essential. Sometimes these signs appear long before you're ready for marriage, serving as preparation for what's to come. Remember, while these signs can be helpful indicators, they should never be the sole basis for making such an important life decision. They should align with biblical principles, be confirmed through wise counsel, and stand the test of time and circumstances. God's will for your marriage will never contradict His written word or His character. It's also worth noting that not everyone will experience all or even most of these signs. God deals with each person uniquely based on their personality, faith journey, and specific circumstances. What might be a clear sign for one person could be meaningless for another. Moreover, these signs should be accompanied by practical compatibility in areas like values, life goals, and spiritual maturity. God's supernatural guidance often works in harmony with natural wisdom and common sense, not in opposition to them. Another important aspect to consider is that these signs often become clearer in retrospect. While you're in the midst of the situation, they might seem confusing or ambiguous. This is where patience and trust in God's timing become crucial. Sometimes what we think is a sign pointing to marriage might actually be God teaching us something else entirely. It's also essential to maintain a balanced perspective. While being attentive to these signs, we shouldn't become so focused on looking for them that we miss the natural development of relationships or become paralyzed in our decision-making process. God gave us wisdom, discernment, and free will for a reason. Finally, remember that marriage is ultimately about glorifying God and serving His kingdom purposes. The signs He provides are meant to guide us toward relationships that will fulfill this greater purpose, not just satisfy our personal desires for companionship. In conclusion, while God's methods of revelation might seem strange or unconventional, they're always purposeful and perfect for each individual situation. The key is maintaining an open heart, exercising patience, and combining spiritual sensitivity with practical wisdom. Whether you're currently seeking marriage or supporting someone who is, understanding these signs can help you better discern God's guidance in this crucial area of life. Remember, God is more interested in your marriage than you are, and He will guide you clearly when the time is right. Stay faithful in prayer, remain open to His leading, and trust that His perfect will for your life includes His perfect timing for marriage.